Thorn representatives tending to the Rakghoul situation are in need of volunteers. Caution. In volunteering, you place both your life and citizenship at risk.
Oh my, the Rakghoul event is back. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm going to be explaining what the Rakghoul event is, how you can participate, and all of the cool rewards that you can get, and some of the other stuff that you might not have known about otherwise. You see, it's always easy to tell when the Rakghoul event is on because you're going to notice one of two things immediately. The first thing being these announcements.
Per Ministry of Biotic Science guidelines, airlock expulsion has been approved as an acceptable method of Rakghoul plague carrier disposal.
And then the second thing being the Rakghoul plague. So what exactly is the Rakghoul plague about? So when this event is on, it will affect one of a few different planets, this being Alderaan, Tatooine, and Corellia. This time around it is Alderaan, which means that currently on Alderaan there is a Rakghoul camp that has been set up, and an instance with Rakghoul tunnels where we can find a bunch of filthy Rakghouls. So what exactly is in the Rakghoul event? So we do of course have those goddamn filthy Rakghouls. We also get a bunch of cool dailies to do. We have those filthy Rakghouls. There is some cool reputation items that we can earn and buy for ourselves. We have those filthy Rakghouls. There is some cool legacy achievements that we can get. We have those filthy Rakghouls. And we have the Rakghoul plague, which is an actual player virus which you can get yourself if you have not used a vaccine to prevent this from happening. And we have those filthy Rakghouls. So in case it wasn't immediately obvious, I am not too fond of the Rakghoul event. And not because I think that the event is crap or anything like that, but mainly because I just do not like Rakghouls. Okay, so the most important thing first, when the Rakghoul event is on, you're going to want to come to the fleet or just about any medical droid in existence. Come to this one right here if you want to, and there's going to be a vaccine that you can purchase called the Rakghoul vaccine. Buy as many as possible because you are going to be needing them to prevent yourself from looking like these poor saps. As you can see, they are currently suffering from the Rakghoul plague, and you can spread this around to other players. It's quite easy to get the Rakghoul plague. All you really need to do is interact with a Rakghoul, and that's it, you're infected, and you're gonna get this debuff, and if you have this debuff for long enough, eventually you will explode, infecting every player around you. Although what is fun with this whole exploding thing from the plague is that it's actually a daily, and you get yourself some rewards from doing so. Okay, so what we're going to do is explain how to start the event, and then we're going to go to where the event is located, and I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what's there and how to participate. So the first thing you want to do is come to your respective fleet, Imperial Fleet or Republic Fleet, and there's going to be a mission terminal. Here it is, it's called the News Terminal. You just want to go ahead and right click on it, and you will be able to get yourself the Rakghoul mission, the starter mission. So I'm just going to skip through this, and eventually when it loads, come on, go away, black screen. Here we go, at the top right, you can see that I have combating the plague, speak to Dr. Rakghoul on Alderaan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And I'm infected. When the hell did that happen? God damn it. Okay, let's go ahead and use a vaccine. There we go, now I don't have to deal with it. Okay, so as you can see here, there is a button right next to the mission called Open Location on Galaxy Map. Let's just go ahead and do that, and we're going to travel to Alderaan. Okay, so as you can see, I am currently in the spaceport on Alderaan. I'm going to head over to where my mission is telling me to go, which is exactly what you should be doing, is following your mission tracker to get to the place where the event is currently being held, which is over here for me. And this is something else that is going to happen, is Rakghouls are just going to randomly attack you because they feel like they own the place apparently. So let's just quickly kill off these goddamn filthy Rakghouls. Rakghouls have terrible loot, gruesome fangs, absolutely appalling. Okay, so here we are on the map, which is exactly where my mission tracker has told me to go. And there's going to be somebody here that I can speak to. Here we are, Dr. Rakghoul. So we're going to speak to this person, and it's going to continue our quest. I'll just go ahead and skip through all of this. There we go, and now it says travel to the Rakghoul tunnels via the spike. Now the spike is basically a big mining thing which basically goes into the Rakghoul tunnels, and that's how we get there. Now notice a data pad as soon as we get there, it's going to have a daily on there, so make sure you grab that. And I think there's also a mission terminal, or is it just a drop box that's here? Well, there's a drop box here anyways, and that's good. Now the first daily we have is called Quarantine House Full. Now I'm not going to go through every single one of these dailies because that's going to be boring and stupid, and you should be playing this event yourself. I'm just going to be explaining how to get here and what to do. So first thing we're going to do before we go to the spike is we're going to check out these vendors, which contains items you can purchase via the Rakghoul event reputation, which will drop from the dailies that you complete. And obviously you can do this on your alts, and it's all legacy stuff, so that's good. That's good stuff. Now the first thing I want to point out here on the reputation vendor is the Antiviral Kit. And when you equip one of these, it basically fits on like a relic. You buy it, you put it on like a relic, and it will keep you immune from the Rakghoul plague while giving you some stats at the same time. So if you really don't want to use the Rakghoul vaccine or purchase them, and then you can waste a relic spot and use one of these instead. Although I wouldn't really recommend doing that. I would just instead use the vaccine. Okay, now moving on to some of the other things that you can buy, we have some cool weapons. Now these weapons are well known for their size because they're actually quite big weapons. If we look at this is a blaster pistol, and look at the size of this, it's pretty big. And the same thing goes with the sniper rifle, although sniper rifles are supposed to be big, I suppose, but this one is really big. It's quite long, and it's got the green color, obviously it's the Rakghoul theme. And then we've also got the lightsabers. Again, they look really big. I don't know if that's just like some sort of optical illusion for me or not right now, but yeah, they're definitely bigger. There we go, that one looks nice, big and bulky, and all bound to legacy, so that's good stuff. And the next things that we have is some art, some decorations that you can purchase for your stronghold. And we also have some armor, which you can buy as well, which is cool, I suppose, if you're into this kind of armor set. And yes, now the way that you purchase these is using Rakghoul DNA canisters. Now these are rewarded from the dailies that you complete, and is basically the currency that you will be spending at these vendors. Think of the nightlife event, which is currently on as well. If you think back to the video I made, I explained that you can use golden certificates to buy stuff for that event. Well, for this event you use DNA canisters, which you earn from doing dailies. Now if we move on to the next vendor, we can see some of the other stuff that's up for grabs from this event. Now I will get to this priority authorization in a second, don't you worry, but first what I'm going to go through is these companion customizations, and then we're going to swiftly move on because nobody cares about them, and we're just going to move on straight to the priority authorization. Now this is basically what you will use to gain access to the event operation boss. It is a single instance boss, so much like the Colossal Monolith or the Golden Fury, you walk into a phase and it's just one operation boss, and it drops some reputation items, some DNA canisters, and also it will drop a barnacle of the eyeless, which you can spend at a different vendor, which I will show you a little bit later on, because it's kind of like a specialty goods type vendor. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, we're going to move on to where the Rakghoul tunnels are, and we're going to use this speeder here called the Faun Speeder. Now bearing in mind, if you're on a Republic side, it's probably going to look a little bit different from this layout, but just follow your mission tracker and you will come to the same place eventually. You just want to use the Faun Speeder and take it to the spike. So here we go, this is the spike here, this big like mining type thing, this big drill thing. It goes into the ground, we use it like an elevator. Here we go, Rakghoul tunnels, and here we are in the Rakghoul tunnels. Now one thing I want to point out really quickly is that earlier I did say that this can happen on a different planet, that being Tatooine or Corellia, so don't worry if you're watching this video and it's one of those planets instead, because it's the same process. Just follow your mission tracker and eventually you will come to the Rakghoul tunnels, which will look exactly the same as it does here, because it's like an instance area. Okay, so just follow your mission tracker and just make your way here, and that will be the end of it, and you can just keep following this video as if nothing ever happened. It's almost as if Alderaan just wasn't even there. Now if we continue with the quest that we were given, we can speak to the Faun operations chief. I'm just going to skip through this, skip, and there we go, we get our first reward, which is some command points, dark side points, credits, but most of all what we want is that sweet reputation. Just going to go ahead and use that just because. Okay, now here we have a mission terminal where we can pick up all of our dailies, and you can notice here as well that we have a heroic formation, which is actually quite difficult, so make sure you do bring a couple of friends for this. Now you can see that the rewards are another reputation item, which is slightly better, it grants medium amounts of reputation points instead, and a Rakghoul DNA canister ×2. And if we look at some of the other dailies, we can see ×1 Rakghoul DNA canister, and as I said earlier on, you will spend those at the vendors that I showed you a little earlier on in the video. And there we have it. That is pretty much it when it comes to just participating in the event, but there is a couple of more things that I guess I can go through, so I may as well. So if you're interested, you may as well stick around. This is already going to be a long video as it is. So as you can see, there is another reputation vendor down here, which is once again just the companion customizations. I just want to reiterate that you will need this priority authorization item here to be able to do the event operation boss. And one thing I didn't mention earlier, you will be needing at least outsider rank with the reputation for Faun, which is the Rakghoul event. So if I open up the map here, you're going to see a network of tunnels. Just go ahead and follow all of your mission trackers to complete your dailies. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of these because that would be utterly boring for this video. You guys can go and do that yourselves and participate in the event. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go show you guys the specialty goods vendor, and I'm going to let you know about a couple of other things that you can get from the Rakghoul event. Okay, so here is the specialty goods vendor. Now I just want to show you this on the map. I'm currently on the far right side. Now this vendor does wander around, so if you want to find this vendor, just make sure you have the vendor checked on your map, so it's going to filter it on the map and show you where he is. And just come over here and have a look for him. He'll be wandering around in this area. Now from this vendor you can purchase a few different things from the other vendors. So you're going to notice a lot of different types of green crystals, or more specifically black green crystals, some different decorations, a pet, and also you can buy Rakghoul DNA canisters using Rakghoul DNA samples, which you will pick up throughout loot and things like that. You can also purchase yourself a vaccine if you want to spare yourself like a couple of thousand credits. If you don't have a couple of thousand credits, you probably shouldn't come to the Rakghoul tunnels. This damn vendor keeps wandering off. Okay, so the other things that you can buy is a couple of mounts. Here we go. We have the infected Dewback and we have the infected Rakghoul. Now this is what you're going to be spending your barnacle of the eyeless on, which is a drop from the event operation boss. Now there is also a couple of different types of achievements that you can get from the Rakghoul event, and some of these are tied in with PvP. So if you're in a PvP instance while in the Rakghoul tunnels, please keep in mind that in some areas you're going to be in a PvP environment, so do be careful when wandering around. However, you can also earn yourself some PvP achievements specifically for the Rakghoul event when killing other players. The next cool achievement I wanted to point out is that earlier on I mentioned you could blow up and infect other players. Well, there's actually an achievement for doing that with 1,000 different players, and this is actually a hidden achievement, and there are a couple of steps before that one. So you'll get an achievement for infecting 100 people, 25 people, and 5 people, but 1,000 players being infected by you exploding is the achievement to go for, and trust me, it will take you a long time. Now the last thing I'm going to mention is that there is actually a couple of world bosses that come with this event. So if the event is on Alderaan like it is now, then there is going to be a boss called Shell Shock, which you can go and fight. It's going to be a new world boss tied in with the event, specifically on Alderaan, but only on Alderaan. And if the event is on Tatooine, you'll get a different one called Plaguehorn, and if it's on Corellia, you'll get a different one called Toxoon. Go ahead and check out Duffy.net for a full breakdown on those kind of cool things. This video is getting a little bit too lengthy now, so hopefully I've introduced you to the Rakghoul event, the one that I'm not too fond of and don't really like to play because it creeps the hell out of me. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you smash that thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next one.